Hey everyone, welcome back. How is everyone tonight? I'm
I'm well. How are you?
great, thanks. Oh, goodness.
All right.
Long day, very long day.
Yeah.
I was prep shopping today, so I had to put everything away. Yes, we mean business tonight. So grab your cookies, grab your chocolate. It's going to be a long night. We have a lot to discuss tonight.
I'm here.
Yes, we made it to another Friday, so that is something good. As long as we can make it from Friday to Friday, it's a good day. It's a good day. You got cinnamon buns. Where's mine, Lady Casca?
Ready? Hi, everyone.
Yes, I broke out the Milano cookies, but it's a new flavor, chocolate coconut. Yeah, I did it. So I had to.
Oh, that.
So I finally finished canning. I'm taking a break from that. Ugh. I canned 3 months worth of meats in a week.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
tired.
dumping the bag. I'm just dumping the bag now. I'm dumping the bags out now. Yeah, I hear you. I did a batch last weekend, then I did a batch midweek, and
Yeah,
then I grabbed more. So I did more than I usually do, but one of those things, right?
yeah,
What do you think?
yeah. And Lady Casca said, "Oh my gosh, 108 jars." Yes, and it was ground meat. The 93.7 chicken and pork, and I am exhausted. I am exhausted, but
Yeah.
it's so worth it. It really is. And we had to get more shelving units, and I'll show you guys. What I did. We turned the cat room into a pantry and stuff like that. So we did it. We did it.
Yeah, you needed to. That's good.
I know. I know.
Yeah, awesome. Um, I've gotten to the point, I think I told you, but I'm up to 700 yards now of meat
Wow.
on the quart size. So I'm
Yeah,
happy that
that's what I have.
it took me spring, summer to now. I think I
Yeah.
started in March.
Yeah.
So it's been 3 loads a day, 4 days a week, every week from March until now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
And
got that.
I mean, I'm staying up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, still canning, still canning, still canning, still canning, and just going nuts and still canning, still canning, still canning. And then you introduced me to that little thing, that jiggler. Oh, what a lifesaver. Oh,
Isn't it awesome?
oh, thank you,
That thing
Tom.
is great. Anybody out there wanting a can, get something called the Jiggler. Get it on
Yeah.
Amazon. It's $13.
Yeah.
Saves a ton of time, and you only want it to go a little bit for your elevation. You just want it to move a little bit,
Yeah.
not much.
Yeah.
And what a time saver.
Yeah.
Um, you're still doing the batch for the same amount of time, technically, but you can
Yeah.
do other.
Yeah. And it's not still looking at the gauge and constantly looking at the gauge and oh
You don't
my
look at
God.
it at all. Yeah, you don't look at it at all.
Yeah.
You just go by the sound and the movement that it makes.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not canning tonight, so my canning for what was it last the last live that we did. What was that, Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? No.
No, last Friday, but we did Wednesday, last Wednesday, and then
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah.
So last Friday, I had an epic fail on my canner that day. There was something wrong. The gasket was not sitting well in it. Total epic fail. I had to stop it, take all the lids off, all of that. And I had it going while we were doing live. So normally it's not an issue, but I had to take all the lids off, reset it up to do it all over again. And I still got it all done and they sealed beautifully. But I had to do the session twice. So it's the first time I've ever had to do that. And
Wow.
of course, you have to take the lids off and use new lids.
Yeah.
So I was none too happy about that, but I was like, all right. So I'm not doing it tonight. Yesterday I took a break. Today I'm taking a break. I will be
Yeah.
starting it again this weekend. As long as the sun shines and I can get in a store, I'm going. But that was the first time I've ever had that happen.
Yeah.
So
Yes, MJ, it's completely safe. Yeah. But yeah, I'm so thankful for that damn jiggler. Oh my God.
right. Yeah.
Because it's like with just the gauge, you're like, I don't even want to go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Because you're so afraid of that thing. And but
Yeah.
I got a lot more done because
Right.
of that.
Right. And that's what I was telling you would happen. It'll take you a little bit to get into it, but once you are, it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you'll get used to the sound as you do it, doing a few more loads. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. So yes, lead by example. Actually, I will do that now. Hang on.
Yeah. I don't have the link on my end anymore.
I'll get it.
I bought mine quite a while ago. But I'll tell you what a difference in canning from the regular.
My gosh, I know it.
Yeah, drastic difference. And literally, it costs $13 and change. You can't beat that deal.
No, I know it. Oh, well, now it's up to $15, probably because they're selling out.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, but who cares?
And there are different people selling it too. So, but still, I'm sorry. Anything under $35 is a steal for that damn thing. So yeah. So anyway. Darcy. Thank you, Darcy.
Oh, thanks, Darcy. Okay, let me see if, okay, here is I just posted. Did it come up?
Yeah.
The link for the jiggler? There it is. Okay, so there's the link for the jiggler. They have it right now for $15 and some odd cents. Okay. Hang on. I'll go get my jiggler so you can see it. Hang on.
So to answer the question, does it work with gauge canners? Yes, mine has a gauge too. And I use the Presto, the larger Presto canner. And I got the jiggler because I had seen it on Sutton Day's site one time on her YouTube channel. And she was raving about it. And then all of a sudden it was out of stock and I couldn't get it for months. And then finally I got it. So there you go. Yep.
Okay. And then these come off, these rings,
because
they're 5 pounds. Okay.
Yep. So the black part of it is 1 pound. The silver that she's holding up right there is technically 6 pounds. Between the silver, if you just have it with no weight on it at all, it is just 6 pounds. Then you put on the first weight. Okay, so that's right. So then in our case, in my elevation, I'm at sea level. You put on 1 ring.
And then at my level, I'm 1 ring as well.
Right. So anything sea level is 1 ring. You'll know, you guys are canning, you know what you're supposed to can at. Each of the rings is 5 pounds, technically.
Yep. And then here's what the rings look like alone.
Yep. and you just, a lot of people won't be using that top ring, but definitely put it aside, because
Yep.
if you lose one ring, you're going to have a problem.
Yep.
But I have not found them in any stores whatsoever. The only place I have found them is on Amazon.
Yeah.
And they go out of stock quickly on those.
Mhm.
Quickly. And be prepared with that too. Mine said 3-day shipping and ended up taking 3 weeks.
Well, I got mine in 2, but
2 days?
yeah. But
Okay.
do you have Amazon Prime? I have Amazon Prime. Maybe
I do. And it said 3 days, but I got it in 3 weeks. So be prepared. But yeah, it's really good to have. It's totally different than using the regular weighted gauge. And I will say, I don't think mine came with any instructions whatsoever. So look it up if you're going to buy it and know how to use it first.
This thing is literally a lifesaver.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Frog 9. Okay. Listen, yes, I am 100% Italian. And when someone calls us a derogatory name like WAP, I will make you eat your teeth. Okay? You just don't do it. You don't do it. Okay? Don't do it.
Really, I mean, it comes down to bullying at that point, and people just can it. Just be nice. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how is everybody tonight? How y'all doing?
Oh, good. You got your force of nature. Awesome.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to send you. I haven't had a chance to send you yours yet. It's still sitting.
Yes. Well, thank you for saying that I'm beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate it. She said that you're beautiful too, Trish.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Polish,
so,
yeah. The topic, we've got a lot of topics tonight. Let me tell you.
Why don't we start with this one?
Right on.
All right. We've been talking for the last few months anyway, about palm scanning, vein scanning, hand scanning, thumbprints. Well, though I won't say who sent it to me because I don't need to, someone had sent an email, and that email was regarding their child in school. And that child was, I guess, with a group of kids, told that they have to use their thumbprint at school. Why? Well, that's still yet to be determined as to the real reason why. It's said to be the new normal for funding purposes. Y'all believe that? I don't. Not a second. And it's not that the person that sent it to me isn't saying it correctly. They're saying what they were told. I don't believe that it's for funding purposes. Not one iota. So, yeah, now I'm not exactly clear as to where they're doing this, if it's being done in the auditorium, if it's being done in a guidance counselor's office or the principal's office. I have no idea. But students being told that they have to line up and give their thumbprint for funding purposes? Really? Since when is it a child's duty to make sure that the school gets funding? Really? So whether it's the thumbprint or all the fingers, I don't really even know that. But just the fact that they want you to give a print and you're a kid.
Yeah. And we were given the email from the school
Yes.
saying this is what's going to happen to your child from the parent of this child.
Right.
So, we can confirm that this is actually happening. And so it begins.
Right.
What
So
we said months ago about the fingerprint, it's happening.
well, they're using the fingerprint at banks and things like that. Okay, but adults use banks, right? They're of legal age because you can't have an account unless you are. So, but what is the purpose for the kids? It damn sure isn't funding. But let's say for the moment that there's a shred of truth in that there isn't. But let's say there is. Are they getting extra money because they're collecting the child's data, including their thumbprint? That I would believe. For funding purposes, okay, that's twisting it. Are they getting extra money from the government to collect all the kids' fingerprints? That's possible, yeah. So if you want to call that funding purposes, all right, it'd be a cold day in hell when I'd allow that to happen. So for me, when I heard about that, if anyone knows me for more than a second, I go to the worst case scenario first, always, every time, no matter what. And it's not because I'm a fearmonger, okay? I just go that way because I like to settle whatever is the worst case scenario. And then everything is better from there. So for me, when I saw that, I said to myself, all right. To me, that is more about conditioning the kids to get used to doing what they tell you to do as the new normal. And I don't think I'm wrong on that. They're all going back, right? They have different circumstances than they did last year. Everything is new right now. Even the way they're cleaning the schools is different than the way they did it before. So if they're going to train the kids, because that's their job, right? To teach them, to train them, wouldn't you teach them to follow the rules, right? Well, there are new rules these days. And if they're going to condition them or have them do new things, they're not going to all of a sudden say, oh, come down here, you need to do that. They're going to slowly bring them into things. The thumbprint is kind of a big deal. But this would be a lot bigger, wouldn't it? So after a time or two of conditioning your kids to do what they're told as the new normal, what stops them from saying, well, you need to go, A through F have to go down to the nurse's station, the nurse's office. And once there, they each give them a shot because that's the new normal. Without the parents' permission. You think they wouldn't try that? I think that if the schools are getting funding and collecting data they'd be getting paid to do that too. And then they're getting paid funding, sure. But they're probably also being told that the only way the schools are going to stay open is if this gets done. And all those teachers and all those jobs, union or not, they won't have them for very long if the kids aren't in the schools. The thumbprint, though, that's an interesting. So what do you all think about that? No, I don't have young kids, but it'd be a cold day in hell before I'd allow it.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, I'm so glad I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, but so many do, and I would not want to be in their shoes.
Oh, thanks, Brandy. Told my boss I needed to be home by 8 to see.
Oh boy. So
What was that? The stuff with kids happening in Australia should send shivers down your spine. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
we
it's
think-
required by all Philadelphia school teachers now by October. Really, Ruth? Thank you.
Yeah, and there'll be a mass amount of people leaving. From what I understand, it's required of all school bus drivers too. Let's see how many of them no longer drive and how many other CDL drivers are they actually going to get.
Thank
for
you,
that.
Tara.
It's going to take a
Well,
while.
we're still having problems here with school bus drivers quitting.
Right. And since they have to be CDL certified,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
not like you can just say, yeah, I'll take the job.
No.
A little more to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, they forced people to homeschool last year. And I know all the kids want to see their friends.
I know, but you know what? At this point, I think that homeschooling is the best option, honestly.
And yet, how many can if they don't have an income or?
I understand that, but you know, when Andrew was in school, the curriculum, okay, the curriculum then was god awful. The curriculum now is even worse because of what they're trying to teach.
Yeah. Yeah. But at the same time, when they go to do testing, you have to think a few years ahead, right? When they go to do testing, they still have to know what they have to know in order to pass those exams, homeschooled or not.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. Really, Blue Rose. Ohio teachers and bus drivers have left because of the arm candy.
Well, good for them. Good for them.
Really, Jean, hospitals, what she just said, Jean, hospitals here are short-staffed with too many nurses quitting, and the hospitals here are setting up like outdoor tents because the ERs are overrun. Yeah.
Overrun with what, I guess, is my question.
The ERs, there's not enough room in the ERs, so they have these tents outside.
Yeah, so overrun with what? What I mean,
patients.
Yeah, I get that. What's the overwhelming thing that they have?
Rona.
That's BS.
Well, but that's what they're saying, so that's what I'm going by.
Yeah.
But not just that. My neighbor, she's a nurse at the hospital here, so I go by what she says as well.
So the idea of having kids, even without their parents, with or without their parents' permission, but without, unbelievably, go in and have to identify with fingerprints is absurd.
Oh, thanks, Miss. My father always said, that if something is important to you, you will find a way. People will have to start thinking outside the box and accept that this will not be easy, but we can do it. Damn straight.
Yeah. The hard part is that we got a system that's set up against us. You know, it'd be one thing if you're working out an issue and you didn't have people coming against you all the time, but we do.
Right. Hey,
So,
G2.
you know, then you got the whole issue of if you do need medical care of any kind and you go to a hospital, can you get treatment or not?
Right.
Well, you
And
probably
that's
can if you're willing to get vaccinated on the spot.
right. And that scares a lot of people, especially me. I have a bad heart. And you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, God. If I have a heart attack or something like that, you know what I mean? I'm too afraid to go to a hospital. I'm serious. I'm afraid. Because is that the first thing they're going to do? Is try and stick me with that damn thing? I know, Deborah. It is cold and flu season. But they still seem to forget about that, don't they? Have you heard anything about banks reporting any withdrawals over $600? Where to go? Required by the government. Have you heard anything about banks reporting any withdrawals over $600 required by the government?
Thanks for putting that up. I was trying to find it and I couldn't find it. Honestly, no, I have not heard that. I've heard 4,000. I've not heard 600.
Whoa.
You know, it used to be 10,000, then it was 9, then it was 7. So I haven't heard past the 600.
Yeah.
And then past the 4,000.
Right. 99.99 is the limit, Mike. Exactly. But apparently, are they changing that now?
Well, that's a different thing. That the 9,999 was the deposit limit, not the withdrawal. That was the deposit.
Because anything over that gets reported, don't it?
Are you done opening those? Because it's really loud.
I'm sorry, my bad. Mom, I can't open that. Can you open
Um, so if I'm not mistaken, that question wasn't about deposits; it was about withdrawals. So am I wrong? That question that you put up was not.
Oh,
about,
right. No, it was about withdrawal, $600.
Right. So that's an entirely different thing than the 9,999.
Right.
So what they would be saying to you,
Thank
as they do quite frequently, is, you know, little chit chat, how's your day, whatever, at the bank. And then when you're withdrawing money, they typically ask you, what are you going to use it for? Or they'll make some comment. And whatever you reply is what they will give back to the feds, because they're required, believe it or not, banks are required to spy on you and then report it. So whatever conversation they can get out of you, they will do. And that's required because when the bank bail-in happened, they were told that we'll give you the money, but you must report what your customers are doing. So Some places have limits on banks, some do not. I have not heard of many that do not. I think if you haven't been told that, you just haven't reached the limit. But there are many places that will only allow so many dollars. Does it apply to credit unions? Yeah. There is no difference between a bank and a credit union. People are under the misconception that there's a difference. There isn't. There
Right.
was when it started, but the laws and the rules that the banks now have in place since the bail-in has changed. They're all the same. That's like saying that, and they won't like me using this example, but that the Hilton hotels are any different from the rest of the hotels, unless they're a big chain. A lot of the hotels that are smaller are owned by the Hilton.
Right.
Many of them. So there really is no difference. The difference is the fact that you have less if you're paying less or lesser quality. But they're all owned by the same people, ultimately. And all of the banks are owned by the Fed, the Federal Reserve. Don't think they aren't. I don't care if they're a credit union or not.
Right.
Yeah. So someone's saying that a credit union is small and they always say it's my money. Yeah, sure. Until the doors close and then you realize that you aren't getting your money and they converted it to bank stock. You don't want to believe me? That's fine. I don't care. I'm not going to argue it. I know what I know, and I know I'm right. They will convert it to bank stock the moment they think they have to pay you out, and they can't. Somebody is asking about cashing out retirement accounts. If you're talking about 401ks, I've been saying that for how long now?
Huh.
401ks, IRAs, anything like that, they're nothing more than paper contracts. And I'm sorry to tell you, when the collapse occurs, because I know it's going to, when it happens, kiss them goodbye, because they won't be there. I know somebody that has 400,000 in a 401k, and on paper they look like they've got almost $500,000, right?
Right.
First thing they're going to do is remove a digit. It'll be a 0, and that 400,000 goes down to 40,000, and it will happen overnight. Overnight. The second thing they'll do is remove another 0. But prior to that, there'll be a run on the banks. When they do it the first time around, we'll end up with a bank run. And that's going to make them shut their doors, and you won't get your cash. You don't have to believe me. I don't care if you believe me. But I do care for you guys. So don't keep any more than 1 month's worth of money in the bank. You don't get any interest on it anyway. Why do it? That question. Baking supplies being low, does that mean we have 1 month? All we can tell you is that it happened in Venezuela that way.
Right. But it's the baby supply that's when we really have to start to worry, because that's what the 2 week or something like that, right?
And here I did notice, because I was looking for sugar the other day, and it was extremely low. They had 2 bags in a big Walmart.
Right.
That's not something that should be majorly have major holes. It shouldn't. It stores well, for them, because they do keep it in the back in a cool spot, and the inside of the store is cool enough anyway. they keep a large quantity of it. But if they can't keep more than 2 bags on the shelf, there's a problem. So what do you do with your money? Okay, you don't want to keep cash in your house. I get it. How about a safe, a small fireproof safe at home? You know, they don't cost a lot. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them for less than $100. And now whatever you put in there, whether it be paper, documentation, which you should have in a safe anyway.
Yeah.
Gold, silver, anything, whatever it is you've got, jewelry that you don't wear too often, put it in there.
Yeah, you know what, Jean? I noticed that too for where the pasta is in like Walmart. I went to Winn-Dixie today. The pasta section is literally like 12 feet long. Now it's like 8 feet.
Yeah.
So they're really starting to cut down on a lot. So, Jean, good observation because I noticed that too.
Yeah.
Black sis in this comment, please.
So Megan asked, why would you keep money in fiat currency if you know it's going to crash? That's a good point. I'm not saying to keep it in fiat currency. I'm saying don't keep your money in the bank. I wouldn't keep it very long into cash, but some people have to keep a little bit more than others, especially like me and a few others that actually do a business. You have to have some form of cash. I wouldn't keep it in liquid cash for long. If you can afford to put it into something else, keep what you need, but buy some silver. Because that is what's going to go up. And some people may say I'm crazy, but between $500 and $600 an ounce. I don't care if you think I'm crazy or not. I care that you get some and put your money there and watch it multiply. That's what I do. How do you draw money out without drawing attention? Don't take a lot. Go to multiple banks. Do it in one big run, but go to multiple banks if you can. Hit multiple ATM machines if you can. Good point. 66 asking, if I take a 401k loan to buy silver, what happens to me after the crash? You will have secured your 401k money into something that doesn't crash because the silver will go up. So you're actually going to be helping make your 401k money go up. That being said, you would be converting it to something at some point. You have to look at what you want. You wouldn't convert it back to fiat money. You convert it back to something else. Gold, perhaps. That would be the better choice. But also, there are many states now, and there will be more in the future, that are using precious metals just like regular currency, because it is actually the only real currency anyway. Taking that to either buy a home if you want one, land if you want it. Depends on what you want. Somebody's asking, would you keep silver at home or in a vault? If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Skip the vault idea. One, it's something, an additional expense that you have to pay for, and you don't know who really gets in there or when you can get in there. You may say you can get in there anytime you want, but if SHTF does occur, I guarantee you won't get it. So someone's asking, do we recommend silver coins or bullion? I don't care what you get. Silver is silver. I don't care if they're silver fork and knife sets. Silver is silver. But if you do choose to buy silver, make sure there are markings on it. You know, like 1 troy ounce. That's always nice to see. Or 0.9999. You want to know if you're paying money for it. That when you want to trade it in, it's easily identifiable. They don't have to test it. They don't have to do anything. All right, sweet and spicy. Good question. First off, you would be showing them past statements, not current ones. Second of all, you would have some kind of reference from before. And lastly, if you had to, not saying you'd want to, but if you have a lot of that, you could easily pay a month ahead if you needed to. And landlords would go for anyone that has good references with the ability to pay and pays a month ahead. Most of them know, if they've been around long enough, most of them know that there are banking issues. And you can very easily explain that you don't keep much more than 1 month's worth of money in the bank because of those issues. If they don't understand that, they're not real landlords, because they're all hurting right now. Every damn one of them. Carrie's asking, what about taxes, taking 401k out? Yeah, there's penalties, there's taxes, there's all that. That's fine. Okay, you have to pay that. But let's say the dollar crashes. Let's say it all hits the fan like we're talking about. Wouldn't you rather make that penalty and pay that taxes? Or would you rather lose it all? Because you're gonna. They're paper contracts. They will go away. If you haven't seen the signs, I don't know what to tell you, because they're all over the place. But when they take the zeros away, one at a time, people will start panicking. And then from there on, it's all downhill. I'm not saying that's going to happen right away, but it is coming.
Mm-hmm. And I like what Brandy said about buying the peace dollars and the Morgans. That's what I buy, and the half dollars. That's what I buy. And the person that I buy all of my silver from, his link is in the description box. So, and I already spoke to him. He said, just go to his website, give him a call, and he'll help you out. He ships daily to all over the U.S. So,
somebody's asking, So why bother paying off debt if things crash? Won't debt be wiped out? In theory, yes. In theory. But I'm not buying that. I think certain things will get wiped out, yes. But only because those businesses will go out of business. And when they have to file bankruptcy, the debts will go away with them. I have yet to see.
Mom.
Oh, I have yet to see in any crash in the past people's mortgages being wiped out. Has that happened?
I don't remember. No.
It hasn't.
No.
Not in my time frame of life. No, it has not happened. What has happened is their equity has gotten wiped out, but not their mortgage payment. So I'm a history gal, okay? I'm going to go based on history.
Is junk silver silver? Yeah. Well, huh?
Yeah, junk silver are pre-1965 dimes. That's what they consider junk silver. Yeah, all of it is. Why do you think it's not a dime anymore? State pensions. To me, that's like Social Security. Every year, I'm surprised it's still there. Same thing, retirement pensions. They're there, technically, yes, but they're just like anything else. They're paper contract. When the banks lob off a zero, if you have 40,000, you're down to 4,000. It's just simply removing a zero. It's going to happen across the board. There are certain things I would say to pay off. Yeah, pay off your house if you can.
Thank you, honey. Thank you,
But
Open House Texas. I think, wait, hang on. What did she say? I think they will bail out the banks so everyone will still, hang on, it's moving too fast, will still owe on their home or car loan. You will own nothing and be happy, right? Never thought I would see this in my lifetime.
well, the feds will always bail out the bank. That's a normal thing. But that doesn't mean that the banks won't take the money that's in your account and convert it
Right.
to stock. And when the stock market crashes, you end up with nothing. A lot of people don't like it when I say it that way. Well, I'm sorry you don't like it, but what do you want me to do? Sit here and lie to you the whole time? I'd rather
Well,
be
that's
honest
why
with you.
people come to us because we don't lie and we tell it like it is.
Yeah.
You know,
It's harsh sometimes when we say it, but honestly, I'd rather do that than have you come back at us later and say, why didn't you tell us? Um,
DTE, that's your electric. I'm saying, I guess, right, right, Mom? The D, is that it, your electric?
I didn't see what you saw, but somebody else is asking, should we pay the electric this month if we're headed for a grid down? I would never tell you not to pay it.
Yeah, always pay your utilities.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you not to do that. So, somebody
Where
mentioned
is it? Huh?
Somebody mentioning the Federal Reserve not being federal. Right. We've covered that. They're definitely private entities. Same with the IRS. And that's the reason why they've been able to get away with what they're getting away with. I mean, it's really ridiculous what they're doing. And I can't imagine any one of us opening a business and being able to collect all kinds of money. Or even better, be able to print money and hand it out to people and say, here, go shopping. It's fake, but go for it. Because we all know it's fake.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than digits on a screen.
Right.
Getting our kids further and further into debt.
Right.
Hyper ballooning the systems that should have crashed 30 years ago.
Right. Well, the grid, we've been hearing stories about military personnel is saying that the grid is supposed to go down at the end of September for 2 weeks. There's telling people get everything out of your freezers, that type of thing. Whether it happens or not, I really don't know. I did a video on it. The person who sent it to me, she sent me more information about it. I reported on that today. So I'm really not sure what's really going to happen. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to say right now is we prepare for a reason, right? Because we're all of the prepared mind. So prepare for it anyway. If your freezers are full and you know how to pressure can it. Okay. That's what I'm going to be working on. I just needed a few days off because of all the pressure canning I've been doing. Next thing, if you have propane grills or even a fire pit, store-bought or built, camping stove, let's start stocking up on charcoal or wood, lighter fluid, the long lighters, or matches so you can, start the fire so you can cook, that type of thing. Let's start preparing for the grid down. I'm not saying, yay, it's going to happen. I don't want it to happen, but just in case it does, at least you'll have a little bit of backup and a little bit of padding to fall back on to say, well, we were told this just might happen, so at least we have this stuff to work with now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a generator, awesome sauce. But a lot of people can't afford to buy a generator. But if you have a generator, make sure you get your gas cans full. Okay? Yeah, the fire stick, get everything that you need. Even if it's just 1 or 2 boxes of whatever, at least you have a little bit of padding to fall back on. Okay?
Yeah. Somebody was asking about paying property taxes ahead of time. I don't know if they allow you to do it or not, but to be honest, I wouldn't.
Yeah, they do, because I do. But my stuff is included in my mortgage, so.
Well, that's not the same thing, though. As far as going down there and paying it, paying additional on it, nah. No, I wouldn't. And here's a thought. If there's a grid down, right? Let's just say for the moment that your tax bills are due October 1st. Let's just say they are. If they're due October 1st, but you don't have the bill yet, and the grid goes down, well, it's not really due until you get a bill, is it? I mean, you'll owe it, but you're not really behind and they can't really fine you because they didn't really send you a bill. I'd hang on to it if I were you. Pay it when it's due. Blue Rose saying she pays her property taxes once a year. I used to do that when I owned a house too. But with what's going on now, I wouldn't. If you can do it and you want to do it, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's technically not due until you get a bill for it. That's the way it goes. It doesn't matter that it's due on a certain day. If they haven't sent you a bill, they can't charge you any more money.
But, let's start to prepare now, okay? Don't wait and just,
Yeah.
it's like hurricane season when, people don't start to prepare for a hurricane until a hurricane is right over top of you and you're running out to Walmart to try and get the last case of water. Don't do it. Just heed the warning, even though we don't know if it's real or not or true or not, and don't say, oh, she's a fearmonger. It's a conspiracy theory. We don't know. Just listen for once. Go get some cords of wood. Go get some charcoal so you can cook on the fire pit or on the grill. Go fill up your propane tank. Just saying. You just don't know.
Yeah. And I'm like everybody else on that. I'm not really prepared for grid down whatsoever. I mean, I have a few things set up for cooking.
Right.
I've been concentrating so much on the pressure canning and doing the meats and all that stuff. I have not gotten there. So I'm working on that too.
And especially because down here it's blazeballs hot. You know what I mean? And it's not like it's comfortable outside. It's really not, so. Marcy, Andrew is doing wonderful. Thank you. Oh, my son. He's doing great. I can't wait for him to come home. He'll be home the first week of November. And then everybody will get to see him.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I thought it was supposed to be October.
Well, it's only because he had to stay in holding for like another, week or two until his school started.
Okay.
Something like that, a week or two, because they didn't have enough guys to start his school or something like that, because he's in with the smart kids or something like that. I don't know. Engineering. I don't know. It's, if it was infantry or something like that, there's a whole bunch of guys and girls that go into infantry. But when you're in a specialized course like Andrew is, not a lot of people go in for engineering.
Yeah.
So
it's almost 8:00.
you want to do your thing?
Well, I'm thinking probably do it before people start to
Go right ahead.
all right. Can you take that
Can I what? Oh,
down?
yeah.
So
He's
anyway.
staying. He's staying. He's staying, honey. Yeah, Gene, he's staying. He works so hard to get to where he's at. He's staying. I'm going to make coffee. Anybody want coffee? Go ahead, Trish.
So you guys have probably seen this video that's going around, and there's a mix of beliefs with regard to what it's all about. But for those that haven't seen it, we're going to show it. And then you can discuss it and see what you think.
Thank you, Blue Rose.
I'll wait for Autumn. But just I was surprised when I saw it. I'll wait for her. Anyway, lost the chat. Yeah, she forgot to mute again. I know. Tony, you got seeds for what? I haven't gotten mine. I ordered a fairly large seed bank a while back. I still haven't received it yet.
Probably on backward.
All right, you back now.
Oh, you saw that. I
Um,
thought you were going to show it while I was getting coffee.
well, it was, but you haven't learned to put things on mute yet, and it's a little frustrating. You're too loud.
I'm sorry. I'm Italian. What do you expect?
Yeah, well, that has nothing to do with it.
Yes, it does.
Anyway, so, all right, I'll put the video up. So again, some of you guys may have seen this, some may not have. We're showing it for the ones that haven't, and then just kind of, decide what you think and let's talk about it. Some are saying that it's no big deal. I don't know. That's not what I got. Just saying. So you ready? It's the only way I can really do this. Hang on a minute.
You're about to see it, and this isn't normal for a small town like this. You hear that train coming? You're about to be surprised. I ain't getting any closer to them tracks. Hear him? Explain to me why we've got this many tanks rolling through the middle of North Dakota? If anybody's got an idea, it'd be nice to know. Because these are not your typical everyday, let's drive this to work. Those are APCs with Brownings. Guess what, America? Some shit's about to happen and ain't nobody ready for it.
So I don't know. There's a various amount of people saying different things. All I can do with that is say what I say at the end of my other videos. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah. But like someone else said, we don't want to speculate. We don't want to, assume and say, this is what this is. No, nay.
I don't know what it is, but boy, I'll tell you, never have I seen something like that roll through. So I don't know what that's all about. But really, Joe?
Yeah. I heard about this, about them started do the draft, and they're, going to be putting women in the draft this time. But you know what? When we went to go for Andrew's graduation at Paris Island, you wouldn't believe the amount of girls that were graduating at Paris Island for Marine Corps. So if they're signing up voluntarily, I mean, I know a draft is a heck of a lot different than voluntarily. Your thoughts? Your thoughts. Trish, everyone in the chat. We have over 1,100 people in chat right now. Your thoughts. I want to hear them. A lot of us come from military families, or we are ourselves in the military. Everyone knows that Andrew is a Marine. Your thoughts.
You don't want my thoughts.
I know, Trish. I know.
Yeah.
But we're talking about women.
Women too. If they're going to draft them, they have no choice. They have
No, Marcy, I'm not old enough for the draft. I don't remember when that happened. Equal opportunity, right? So, a lot of people will say equal opportunity. Okay. It got voted down, Jean. Okay, see, I didn't know that. But see, a lot of people, a voluntary female draft. Yeah. Well, it's not just a voluntary, just females. They're going to be adding the females into if we ever have a draft again. Yes, they're pushing the arm candy onto them as well. Unfortunately.
That will be equal opportunity. You can be sure of that.
Of course it is. If you want to volunteer, that's great. Okay. Thank you, Larry. See, if you wanted to volunteer, that's great. But see, there's always a but, okay. But this is why we come together like we do. We want opinions from all sides. This is how we grow together as a community. We learn from one another. Okay. We have to have everyone is entitled. Okay. We want to hear everyone's opinion.
I still won't give mine.
It did get voted down, but they could bring it back on the table. Okay, thank you, MJ. Okay, see, well, everybody has spoken, so.
So since we left, how many people over in Afghanistan? What was the count? Imagine then there being a war, and then they have now brought people over somewhere, drafted or not. You really want your daughters to be left by this administration somewhere else? Because you damn sure know it's gonna happen if it already happened.
Right. I agree with you 100%. Okay, but our girls, our daughters, our wives, our nieces, okay, our granddaughters, they are voluntarily going into the Marines, into the Army, into the Navy, into the Air Force, into the Coast Guard.
I know that. But the draft is a different thing.
I know.
When I was younger, I was actually looking at the military. Now I'm glad I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But it's not something that would let my kid do in this administration, daughter or not. I just would, and still seeing too much in this administration, regardless of the actual head of it, who isn't even using his head. That's a different subject. I don't trust them. They don't give a crap.
Really? Ban everything. I was forced to sign up for the draft, but when I tried to join the military, my rare blood type got me rejected. That's interesting. It's very interesting. Are they exempt if mental health issues? I would think so.
Hugo Jefferson asking, will they draft mothers? Like, how far will they go with it? And that's part of the problem, too. It's one thing if you're volunteering, although I still think that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, how far are they going to go with it? Because in my view, well, you give them an inch, they'll take a yard.
Yeah. Because I remember talking about this initially and saying, watch that this spike of teenage pregnancies go up because they don't, parents don't want their daughters to get drafted, so they would allow something like this to occur.
Isn't that where the arm candy comes in handy? Because,
Well, sure.
That's miscarriages, right?
Oh, well, sure.
Yeah. Diane, is over 70 exempt? Yeah, I think you're good. That was a good one.
Is there currently a cutoff age concerning the draft? I don't know, Mindy. I don't. Is it still mid-30s for? I don't remember. I really don't.
Did you all see the thing the other day when they were talking about blood donations and anybody that has done that?
Okay.
They're asking them not to donate.
Yes, I know. I heard about that.
Yeah, kind of late, don't you think?
Yeah, it's because of the plasma.
Yeah, still kind of late, don't you think?
Oh, well, sure, of course. 35. Thank you, G2. I wasn't sure. I knew it was 30 something, but I wasn't sure. Ages changed due to the need for soldiers.
Yeah, I believe it.
And now that they're mandating the arm candy to our military, do you think that they will enact the draft? Because there's not a lot of people that would voluntarily go into the military with the data in office. Yes? No? Thoughts?
My thoughts go back to
Well, thank you, Trump one. I am arm candy. Well, thank you, my dears.
my thoughts keep
My
going
husband
back.
thinks so too.
My thoughts keep going back to the fact that we have a potato in office.
Yeah.
I think that answers just about everything right there.
Tom, I don't think that they're going to look for the 2,000 genders and non-binary, who's binary, who's got what between their legs. I don't think they're going to give a crap about that. I don't think they're going to care about what's on your birth certificate if it says male, female, or X.
No.
You know what I mean? They're not going to care.
It's all about building that million-man army, just like China has, right?
Yes.
Million
Yes.
army. Why? What's the point? I mean, do you actually want us defending this nation? I don't think you do. It's not the way they're showing it at this stage.
That's a good question, Sandra. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, because that actually would concern my mom, who's sitting right next to me. If you cook with natural gas, would that go down with the electrical grid?
Propane.
Well, still, I mean, I had a gas stove in my prior house, and as long as you were able to, with a lighter, to be able to light a burner or
Yeah.
light the oven, which is more complicated to do, but it can be done.
Yeah.
You still have cooking, maybe not the oven, unless you know exactly where the burner is and you can access it to light it. Yeah, so if you have natural gas or propane, you should be able to light your burners.
Yeah.
With propane, you're gonna have to lock it up right now.
Yeah, with propane, you're gonna have to watch it. You don't run out. Yeah. And to fill her propane tank, oh my God, every 3 months it's costing $500. And when the price of gas goes up to fill up her propane, ooh, it's going up and up and up and up and up. It's
Sorry, I
ridiculous.
just got a phone call.
Get a sun oven. Yeah. I mean, not for nothing, but I would start to prepare to start learning how to cook off grid. I would, grid down cooking right now. Get a, a grill, whether it's charcoal or propane. Get a, what do you call them? A fire pit, build one or buy one that's already made. Rural King has them, Home Depot have them, Lowe's has them, camping grill, whatever.
Right.
I get it done. Would you, please?
Yeah.
Thanks, Prepper Nerd. Solar oven, yeah. Yes, you can use your car as a solar oven, especially down here. Rocket stove, yeah. Yeah. And you can actually build one of those out of soup cans. I did it, and they work.
Really?
Yeah.
So the stock market keeps going up. Anybody notice that? They met their target, they say, on jobs. No, they didn't. It's 1/3 of their target on jobs. And next week they're dropping how many people off of unemployment? All of them, pretty much. All of the ones that were in the beginning. So what do you think that's going to do next week? I mean, most people have been week to week anyway for years, right? So now you dump a whole ton of people off of unemployment. So what do you think that's going to do? Most people don't have more than 3 weeks worth of food in their homes, because we're so used to the going to the store every week mentality. Get it later. No big deal.
Hang on. Ma Berry, take care of this, please. whatever the hell this is.
Yeah. Now.
An error has occurred. Why?
So, as I was saying, while they take care of that quickly, I haven't noticed many mods in here tonight. If you have any, I have not seen many saying anything. So just deal with it. So stock market's going up and up and up, and next week people come off of unemployment. They didn't extend the moratorium, I understand.
No, they didn't extend the moratorium. No.
Right.
People are getting evicted left and right. It's crazy.
Right. So you got a bunch of people being dumped off of unemployment next week. And
Thanks, Mick.
now you've got the moratorium ending. What do you guys think that's gonna do? I know what it'll do, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you think it's gonna do? Yeah, lead by example. Good idea. Yeah, that's at the very least. Destroy the economy fast. Yeah, it already has. I don't know that it will start with rioting, but I think it will definitely make people desperate.
Well, let me just put it to you this way, okay? You know that my sister-in-law and her fiance have a moving company, okay?
Yeah.
And he said that 90% of their business has been for, what would you say, the last 6 months, Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Have been landlords calling them to get people out of their homes because they're being evicted.
Yeah.
And one was a woman in her 80s.
And one woman was actually in her 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I was talking to Sonny, that's my brother-in-law's name, the other night, and he said, if you go, okay, have you ever, if you live in Florida, or even if you've watched the show that used to be on TV, it was called Live PD, and you've heard of Pasco County, Florida, okay? If you go into Pasco County, Florida at night, he said you'd be surprised because all along the streets, you'll see families sitting on the side of the road eating like fast food and stuff like that. He said those are the people who recently got evicted. He said because they literally have no place to go. And you just see suitcases just sitting next to them, or they're sitting on their suitcases. He said this eviction moratorium has people homeless and they are all over the place.
Yeah.
And he said it's getting so bad. He said, because he looked at me and he looked at Sean and he said, and he looked at Mom and he said, you guys are prepping with food. He said, have you thought about security? I said, Sonny, have you been to the house lately? I said, you can't even get into my house. You can't get into my house unless you know how to, you know what I mean? We don't even have weak spots anymore because we fixed everything.
Yeah.
So even Sonny said he's going to be doing security around the house now because the homeless population has grown around Pasco County, which is very close to us, about 300% within the past month.
Yeah.
So head on a swivel, guys.
Yeah.
Head on a swivel. Eyes
I
and
was
ears
gonna-
open 24/7.
I was going to address something. TL is asking about my volume, and I just want you to know what happened.
Okay.
My volume cut, right?
Oh, no shit.
So what happened is my buddy called in on my phone a few minutes ago. Remember I said I just had a phone call coming in?
Oh, yeah.
Don't know how, but they're messing with my phone and they cut my volume in half. So I've tried to up it and I can't up it. It is what it is right now until I end this stream and come back in, and I'm not going to at 8:26. So somehow they found a way to control the volume on my phone instead of cutting me off. But after tonight, it won't happen again. That I am certain of. But just so you guys know, we're half in volume because
Yeah.
I have somebody that's trying to control my phone.
Oh.
So I can't fix it right now. I've tried to put it up higher, and it is as high as it will go.
Yeah, and you are kind of low because I can barely hear you, but I can
Yeah.
hear you.
And you're cut in half too. I can't hear you very well either. So just so you know, that's why. But I'm going to be ending it tonight to the person that's on the other end. I'm letting you know.
Why do they keep doing this? Doesn't make
So-
sense.
Anyway, that'll be done. So somebody mentioning that FEMA camps are for people that are homeless and desperate. You want me to just answer that? I don't think it was a question. It's more meant as a statement, but FEMA camps are there for a number of reasons. Yeah, but when things aren't so good, but there's an agenda working here, guys. There's an agenda. And that agenda is to make sure that they get this into as many arms as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it. That's what this is about. So,
And oh, sorry.
all right. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna talk about what Janet had just put up because it's important. But go ahead.
No, what was it? Talk about what Janet. See, I got volume on my other one. I don't have volume on that.
Stupid. Texas Janet, she's a landlord, and she has a squatter now in one of her rentals, and this bastard attacked her and her husband. And he's working. It's not like he's not working, right? He has parties every weekend and stuff like this. And 3 weeks ago, he attacked her and her husband. It's horrifying. I remember when she initially told me that. And, it's only going to get worse. It really is. It's awful. It's awful.
Well, anyway, as I was saying before the phone call that I got, stock market's going up, right? It's going to keep going. Just so you know. Yeah, it'll crash at some point, but it's going to keep going up. Because the ones that are putting the money in aren't ready for that to go down yet. It's amazing how we can have an economy that's in the toilet with inflation and shrinkflation and everything else, but the stock market keeps going up, just like in 1929. That's correct. No, it's not the Robin Hood genders. It's not. It's not that generation. It's not. They're impacting it a little bit, and I mean a little bit. They're not. The predominant one is BlackRock.
Yeah.
Who own the majority of the other large businesses or have the vast majority of stock in them. They're the drivers. Those Robin Hood people, they're just passengers on the tail end of a long train. But they're not the ones doing it.
Whoa. Where'd it go? This. Did you hear Joe hint at taking refugees in homes during speech?
Yeah.
In what homes?
Well, we talked about that before in a different way. About putting homeless people in with people.
Not in my home.
Sure, because you've paid for it and you don't have a problem with that. But for anyone who is behind, severely behind, and or if there's squatters in a house, they can simply put more people in.
So let me guess. If you took advantage of the,
Yep.
What's the word? Where you didn't pay your mortgage.
Well, it's basically a.
Starts with an F, doesn't it?
Yeah, and my brain is blocked right now. I get so much crap going through it. Yeah. What?
Stop. Judith and Dan, stop. I own pew-pews and eat pork. No guest here. Well, you know what? You know what? Same here. Okay. You're terrible. Stop it.
Yeah. Forbearance. Thank you. My head is just fried.
You're inciting.
Just the idea.
Forbearance. Thank you, Ruth. Forbearance.
Just that the idea that they could do that or think that they could. Now, I've heard, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I've heard that down the road, if they chose to, and I don't know how, but that they've said that they could dissolve property lines. I don't know how. Never happened in history. I don't know how it could happen now, but that is said that they could dissolve property lines. And if they do that, well, that's a problem, right? I just don't see that one happening, not in the next 20 to 30 years. I think they're going to work towards their 2030 agenda and pushing the climate change issue, which really isn't as much of an issue, but they're going to make it be one.
Right. Well, Mrs. Bailey just said it would happen under NESARA.
Dissolving the property lines? Not so much. I'm pretty well versed in NESARA because I deal with it. That's not about dissolving the property lines. That's more about paying off your mortgage for you. and doing a lot of humanitarian efforts. If they do, and again, it's a big if, and I think it's a long way out, try to dissolve property lines. Well, what would that mean? Dissolving the mortgage too? Yeah. But what about what you've already paid? Mrs. Bailey, yes. The mortgages are fake because the money was never backed by anything. That is correct. But you're still having to pay it, right? Well, they take it.
They're canceling student loans now, Mrs. Bailey.
They are.
Eminent domain. Over 86,000 per person in U.S. debt. If you include mortgages, yeah, I could see that.
Right. So it's stated that they would remove not just personal debt, but yes, student loans. They
Yeah.
are forgiving some. Right now, I think they're forgiving the ones they want to. And the idea that they would bring in a bunch of people from other countries, right? Who do you think's paying for their educations? So how they're actually going to pull that one off, print more money or take ours, that's more likely a scenario. Take ours. When they take the zeros off the bank accounts, wealth never goes away. It just transfers from one location to another. If it comes off of yours, it's going on to someone's somewhere. One big general fund, I would assume, maybe at the IMF. Yeah. They're great at taking money and distributing it how they see fit.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to know about that, just look at the last video that I just put on my channel. That's that big boardroom I've told you guys about time and time again, where they make all the decisions that you guys then end up with for the next 50 years. So those are the ones that are really controlling the show. Puppet Biden is nothing more than a puppet. Hence the video and the puppet strings.
Need to dump CDs and buy gold. Yeah.
Yes. Except do it a little differently. Dump CDs and buy silver.
Yeah.
And then when silver goes up, dump the silver into gold.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying all along. Let the silver do the job first. Gold will go up a little bit in the meantime, but not a lot. Silver will skyrocket. Some guy. You think Biden's just a little lost and not a puppet? Sorry, but you're wrong.
So sad.
Yes,
It really freaking
failing,
is.
and yes, but you know what? He knew what he was getting into. He knew. In a way, I feel bad for him. In a way.
Yeah.
But not the rest of it. I don't like the fact that they're taking advantage of a man who is not able to remember what he ate for breakfast. But he has, done a lot of damage over the years.
What's a pew pew? What? It's a gun.
Freedom seeds?
Freedom seeds. Yeah. There's a bullet. What's on the horizon, ladies? Oh, lots and lots.
So, ooh,
Pew pew is a bang bang. You guys are so crazy.
somebody comparing Nasara to the Illuminati. No, not quite. Nasara is
The chatter.
it was set up by people that are in those channels, but no, it's actually meant to help, and I think it will. Do I think it will fully come to pass? I think it's going to take a long time. I'm not so sure that I'll fully see it in my lifetime. What are you laughing about?
Lead dispenser.
Anyway, anybody else have anything on here before we go too much longer? So if anybody else has anyone that is going back to school and you hear about that little thumbprint, let us know, please.
Yeah.
Anything different in the school system than was before that is not, well, that sends signals to you that isn't right, let us know.
Yeah, because a lot of kids are going back this week, aren't they? Up north.
Yeah, I don't
north.
know that they are yet. I think I think it's the Wednesday after the holiday, which is this coming Monday.
Did we discuss any banking updates? Yeah, a few, I think.
Yeah. Somebody asking about warnings on Facebook about canning and prepping. Yeah, I've seen that. There's something on there that says, do you know of anyone
who's an extremist?
Do you know of anyone who seems overly prepped?
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Or who's storing food?
More than 3 weeks. Is that the one?
I don't know that they were even mentioning how many weeks. I think they were just saying, do you know of anyone? You know, they're just going for anything they can get at this stage. You know, I don't know that it was saying that they'd pay them to tell, but you can obviously see, if you're looking at it, that they're trying to get people to rat other people out. It'll be a cold day in hell when it happens on this end. And it's a shame that they're trying to get people to turn on each other. But that's what they're doing.
I'll never understand it for as long as I live. You know, now you're going to ask people to say, if they've got too much food, you need to turn them in.
Yeah. So what is too much, though? Is that the 3-week time frame? Somebody on here saying 3 weeks is a very random
because
number. It's not really.
I saw a post that said 3 weeks, more than 3 weeks. I saw a post like that.
And 3 weeks isn't really a random number because FEMA has for a long time always said, make sure you keep at least 3 weeks worth of food in your house. And then 3 weeks went to 3 months. They wanted you to stock up.
Right.
Now, did they do that so that people would and then could later say, oh, you're an extremist?
Right. But they're also encouraging you to have an overnight bag packed.
Oh, yeah.
We would call it a bug out bag, but an overnight bag packed.
Yeah. Is that so that they can take you out of your house and say, you should have had an overnight bag?
Eminent domain. Go to understand it. Got. Yeah, I know, Brandy. I know. Thank you. I know. It's like, you know, there's so, I feel like my brain is scrambled. Don't turn
That's why
anyone
you have
in.
to. That's why you just have to remain focused and do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just stay focused on what you're doing, because I think a lot of this stuff that's floating around out there is really just to get us sidetracked.
Yeah.
That's the same thing as with
Gotta
those damn recalls. I mean, I saw more this week, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even listening to them. I'm not looking at them. I'm not dealing with them. I'm still just being safe with what I do, and just, I mean, next thing you know, they'd be recalling water. I mean, geez, it's the only one they haven't done. Maybe I shouldn't give them the idea. Really,
I
it's the only
know.
thing they haven't hit.
I know.
They went from vitamins and spices to hot dog buns. They hit every category there was, from shrimp to meat to vegetable. There isn't anything they didn't hit. Water.
I know. Snitches get stitches. Damn straight, Carson.
You got that right. They get stitches, and then they get put in a hole. Anyway,
You guys are terrible. Yeah, I agree with you, Awakening Warrior. The recalls are their way of snatching up mass stashes of food, and it's not legit. It's their
Right.
tactic of stockpiling for the government. Exactly.
right. These
Exactly.
states have been doing that for a long time now. They have these large warehouses that they've been using. That's a good one.
Karen just said they're going to recall water because it's wet.
Because it's too wet. Yes. Yeah, I can see them doing that. Yeah.
She's sick. Y'all
I
are
like
sick.
Rachel's idea. I like Rachel's idea even better. Can they
Where
recall
is she?
stupidity?
Oh God.
If they could, that election would have been fixed. Oops, sorry. Next.
Oh, I'm telling. Yeah, I know, Tammy. Remember that? What was it? Last year? With the remember when there was no canning jars, lids, rings, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to give you my solution on that?
Yes. Remember you said you found a solution for the lids. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you guys are going to have to try it on your own, okay? But there's no harm in doing this. What? Now what?
G2. She's
All right. Stop it. Anyway, take a small pot of water or a large pot. I don't care. I just did a small pot because I wanted to try a test. Take the canning lids with the adhesive or the compound side up.
okay.
Canning lid. Drop it into the pot. Pour a bunch of water in it. Keep them down the bottom. Keep them separate from each other. They can touch each other, but don't put them on top of each other.
Okay.
And boil it.
Okay.
And let them sit in boiling water for a little while. I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
And let the compound heat up.
Okay.
And normally, when you have a used lid and you're looking at the compound, you'll see the groove in there from the jar, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you take that lid and you put it compound side up in hot water, it takes that compound and it makes it softer. And it goes back down. It may not be 100% of what it was before, but it's damn good. And if you need to leave it in there a little bit longer to keep boiling, do it.
Okay.
Until it goes down a little bit more. I didn't leave mine in any more than 5 minutes and it did it. I didn't stack them on top of each other. You don't want to do that. Just if you got a fairly decent sized pot, you can put 5 or 6 in there, whatever. Just put them around and then put one in the middle or 2 in the middle, whatever. And boil them. The compound itself and the fact that it was previously shifted to other areas to be able to adhere to that previous jar is the issue. It's not the lid, it's the compound. So all I have to do is heat the compound up and get it to go down. Now, you can do that right before canning, or you can do them ahead of time and get them done and put them away. I would do it right before canning, just because it's a whole lot easier. But it does work. I've done it myself. Now, that being said, they always say, don't reuse your lids. Yeah, they do. But I am saying in a pinch, it works.
Yeah.
So I don't toss my old lids. I keep them. And prior to that, I was keeping them anyway for canning things like sugar or any of the powdered things.
Yeah.
You can pressure can it, but it's a good, way to keep the oxygen out.
Right.
So I have a stack of used ones. I thought I'd give it a shot, see if it works. And it does.
Right.
So just saying, if you want, next time around when you go to do your canning, let's say in my case, I have a 7-quart canner. What I did was I heated some of the lids up, but I used 6 of the new lids and I just tried one and I put an X on it so I knew which one it was.
Okay.
And I tried one just to see if it would work. And it did. So do that. Don't do a whole bunch of them. Just try one. Put an X on it so that you know which one it was. Give it a shot.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
It can't hurt. I mean, what's the least thing that the worst thing that could happen is if it doesn't seal, you may either need to use what's in that jar sooner rather than later, or reprocess it with a new lid.
Right.
I'm just telling you, it worked for me. So that's what I'm doing. Is if I'm low on lids, not only am I saving them anyway, but I'm taking those other lids and now just putting them in a pot of water, heat them up to boiling with the compound side up. Don't stack them on top of each other, and keep them nice and hot until you go to put the lid on the jar. So it worked for me. You try it yourself, see what you think.
Okay. I will. Because that's the one thing that, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm going to start
So-
canning all my dry beans soon, so I can just, pop the top so they're edible.
Right.
That's what I'm going to
Somebody
start
was
doing soon.
Somebody was asking if I hot pack or raw, if I do raw packing or
Raw
if
pack.
I hot pack can. I don't do the hot pack method whatsoever, but yes, in that case, the lid will be hot. That's fine.
Yeah.
You can still have raw meat in a cold jar with cold water in your canner, but a hot lid. So
Well, the only cooking that you do really, or that I do, is the ground beef, but everything else gets raw packed.
true, but they say don't necessarily do the ground meat without cooking it first. But I have done it that way. In fact, that's how I did all of my ground meat up until about 3 weeks ago. All of my ground meat. I did it as a raw pack method. But what I did, when you're doing like raw pack chicken, you fit about 2 pounds on average per jar.
In a quart. Yeah.
When it came to the ground meats, I did 1 pound per jar. And I think that's the key to it, is if you pack it solid and then the pressure is applied to that meat, they say that it becomes too dense and the pressure is not able to get to the middle of the jar at the middle of the meat. So I didn't fill it as full.
Okay.
And I put liquid in the jar first, like about a quarter of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was adding it, it makes it easier to debubble as well.
Okay.
Still have to.
See, I've been cooking all my ground meat before I've been putting it in the jar.
Yeah, I am now, but the stuff I did in the beginning, I have not, and I've begun using some of it. Recently, I was just testing some. I was doing what was it the other day? I think it was ground. It was ground beef. We made homemade burritos and grilled them, and they came out really good. So I
Yeah.
did the ground beef. I did refried beans. I added tomatoes and cheese and I don't know, some other stuff in there. Came out pretty good. So I'm trying to, they always say use your preps, right?
Yes.
Rotate through them. Well, for the most part on the meats, I haven't wanted to. I just keep concentrating and putting more on the shelf, and I really haven't been using them.
Yeah.
So lately I've said, okay, well, I'm going to take it easier on myself with regard to making dinner because, hey, they're already cooked, right? You just have to do the heat up part. And so I've made it a little bit easier. But now I found out that I actually like the stuff in the bottles better. The chicken is more tender. It just overall has a better flavor.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing.
Right.
I've started to rotate through and use some. So.
Okay. Well, it's almost 9.
Yeah.
So, ow.
Anybody else get anything on here that they want to?
I've been watching the comments. Brandy, very funny. Is there any way to reuse aluminum cans for canning?
No.
Very funny. Oh, Christopher, you make jerky? Nice. They
Also-
say that the grid down is supposed to happen at the end of September. That's what we're hearing. We're not saying that, yes, it's going to happen, but that's what we're hearing. So take it for what it's worth. You know what I mean? Prepare for it. Because if it happens, then you're prepared. If it doesn't, hoorah. You know what I mean?
Yep. Also, just to let you guys know while you're still here, the newsletter is going to be coming out in the very near future. I have to do an upload now for everybody's email addresses. That's what the system requires. So I've got to get all your email addresses into this system in order to get that done. So it's going to take me a little bit longer to do that.
And there's a lot of you.
Yeah. But anybody that's still interested in it, you all know we're doing it to help with Autumn and her family in case Sean has to leave his job. So it is $5 per month. Anybody that hasn't signed up that wants to, please do. You do so by sending me an email. That would be the easiest way to do it. And say, yes, I want to be part of it. Sign me up. Or you can send it to Autumn, but she then has to send it to me. So it's more work. Just send it to me. It's taassociates1020@yahoo.com, and it's in the description below. So send me an email if you want it.
Sweet and spicy, 3 to 5 years.
4.
Meat in the jars.
Oh.
After you pressure can. And Cat's Life, Sutton's Days. Yes, she's awesome sauce, but I learned how to can from Homestead Heart.
Yep.
I love her.
Yep. Rose Red is really good as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I learned from Homestead Heart. So.
Yep. I did most of my stuff through Sutton's Days. She's awesome.
Right.
Absolutely awesome. But making ghee is something she would not do. And
Yeah.
I learned that from Rose Red. And oh my God, she's got a great video. She does it in such detail. It's incredible. So it's worth the watch, even if you're not going to make it.
Ashley, about what? What did you want to hear back from me about?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, she sent you an email regarding the newsletter, and I sent her an email today.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
But I will say, I also sent you an email several times before because I hit yours 3 times, Ashley, just so you know. And that's how I remember because of your name. So I sent yours out twice, and then I sent it out again because you sent it to Autumn, and she sent it to me.
I'm gonna have to
I don't know why some people are getting them and some are not. All I can do is send them out.
I literally get between 300 to 500 emails a day. So if I haven't responded, if I haven't responded yet, I'm so sorry.
I get over 1,000, and every one that Autumn has given me that you guys have sent in, I have answered. So if you don't have an answer back, hit me up directly.
God bless you.
I'm pretty good at getting them done. But the very first time we had them done, we had over 1,000 people responding pretty quick. So
Yeah.
it took me a while to get them done. So just send me an email. And so Ashley, yes, I did answer your email. Check your spam box if for some reason you don't see it. It's from me, not from Autumn.
Right.
All right.
Sweet and spicy, 3 to 5 years, goofball. I answered you already.
Yeah. Some say
MJ, yes, I got it. What?
Some say
Huh?
it goes longer. Some don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome, hon.
So
Well, Twinkies and McDonald's French fries, they last forever because it's fake shit. You know, preservatives. Doesn't wonder.
they do last forever. Hey, Deborah. So anybody else have anything that you
I want to learn more from you about solar. Oh, ban everything. Ban everything. Speak up. Talk to Karen about everything solar. Exchange emails. Do what you do.
Yep. And Laura's asking if anything happened about the people that knocked on my door. No, and I can't explain it. I just can tell you that was the most eerie feeling I have had, and they looked like two very official females that were collecting data. That's all I really know. I wasn't answering the door. As far as I was concerned, if you have to open my screen door and knock on the top of it, on the glass, you know, like one of those half moons on the door, they knocked up because they couldn't see in. No car around. They didn't look to me like they were the people that walk the neighborhood normally. I wasn't going there.
Megan, where you at? Megan, when you did the Cash App, you sent it to me or you sent it to Trish? Because you probably sent it to me.
I don't know. I've had a few come in on mine too, so.
Okay. So Megan Wasik. So Megan. For those, yes. Okay, so for some of you that are sending through Cash App, I need your email addresses. You're not sending me the email addresses.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to send you email addresses so we can send you the newsletter.
Yeah, really. It's very simple, and that's the reason why we asked for it. It's not because I want to send you other stuff. It's because where else are we going to send the newsletter, right? I'm not mailing it to your home. I am not doing a mailing. It is going by email. So you have to actually give me your email address. And that's why I say email me. It makes it a whole lot easier. Because if you send it to her, she still has to send it to me. I'm the one sending them out.
And then there was somebody else. Hang on, let me get my notebook out because I keep log of everything.
In doing that, so if you're doing it and you're making the payment, you really do need to put your email address on there where you want the newsletter sent to. That's the reason why we're doing it. Just to clarify.
Hang on. Because someone had sent I don't know if it was they sent cash or Cash App. It was something like that, but no email. And I'm like, I don't know how to send that to you because there's no email address.
Well, if we have a name, I can probably trace it through the emails I sent out.
Okay.
But with regard to Megan, I'm pretty darn sure I got yours, and all it sends back is a thumbs up. It doesn't really send you back anything else.
Yes, I know.
If you look at your Cash App, it will tell you if it went through or not, and if we responded. So just take a look at your Cash App. Oh, we getting an echo again? Oh boy, I guess I know what that means, right?
Oh,
Thanks, Daisy May. I will.
Deborah. That's who it was. Deborah Pumphrey. If you're in here, I need your email.
I remember the name. I sent her an email for that, not
Okay.
acknowledging that it was done because I didn't get it and you did, but I'm saying the original one. So all I have to do is plug her name in.
Paid for a year. We have no email, baby, because you only sent me your house address. I'm not sending it to the house.
Yeah, I know what hers is though. I have her on my end.
Okay.
So, raised bed. You're right. I don't sleep. Ask Nikki
No.
that. I really
No.
don't.
Uh-uh.
I've been dragging butt for the last 2 days also.
Yeah.
So.
And barely eating, I might add. So, granola bar, protein shake, a little something, something.
Not gonna
Okay.
say it. Not
Yeah.
gonna say
Well,
it.
I just did. Did you even link me on to the newsletter? Should I check my email? Walmart. You know what? Did you email me saying, hey, this is Walmart? Because it doesn't come through for the email saying Walmart. Does it come through as your name or does it say Walmart?
Yeah.
All right, honey.
I don't have anything under Walmart. So
See?
I don't know who you are.
All right, hon. You got it. You got to tell me what you need.
Send me an email.
Yeah.
TAASSOCIATES1020
J squared. Everything is in the description box below, my love. Okay. Everything.
Yes, it is. Thomas Adams Associates. TA. Okay. Thomas Adams Associates. 1020
Yes.
at yahoo.com.
Sweet and spicy. Stock up on lighters. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I've been doing that. Every time I go through the checkout, I'm grabbing 1 or 2 packs, and
those are
because
going to be literally.
I always forget it until I get to checkout. Yeah. So, just to be clear, I have answered every email that I've gotten, and I've answered all the ones that Autumn has forwarded to me. So if you haven't gotten an answer, I don't have it. Okay? I made sure today, on purpose, I did it before we came live. Absolutely, across the board. Everybody's done. So.
Lighters, why, Chandra? Because if we were to have a grid down situation, because rumor has it, now it is just a rumor has it, by the end of September, we're supposed to be having a grid down situation for 2 weeks. Some saying it's going to be longer than 2 weeks. We don't know. But it is just that, a rumor. We don't know. So, but lighters are always something that you want to keep in your preps anyway. Why? Do you live in a hurricane prone area? Do you live in an area where you get blizzards? You just don't know. Plus, it's also a very good bartering item.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? You just don't know.
One thing I will say about the lighters, put them in a Ziploc bag. And I know it sounds a little weird, but put them in a Ziploc bag. And do your best to keep them standing upward if you can.
Okay.
One, the lighter fluid does evaporate over time.
Okay.
So if you put them in a Ziploc bag, you'll have less of that occurring. And 2, it's not good to leave them leaning downward anyway. Keep them up. So.
Yes, exactly. Whatever you buy for your preps, you can always barter with. Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Absolutely. Anyway.
Yes, Marcy, exactly. Balls to the wall. She hit it. Bosnia, the Bosnia story.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So somebody also asking, wouldn't there be water issues with grid down? Yes, there would be.
Yeah. So stock up. Stock up.
So it may take a little bit for it to happen. I mean, if the lights go out in your home, you don't necessarily have a water issue, but for prolonged grid down, how are they going to treat the water? They really can't. So
Get down.
just make sure you have what you need, stay stocked, find what your holes are, plug those holes. You know,
Janet, good question. She wants to know if it would be a good idea to vacuum seal the lighters instead of just doing Ziplocs.
I suppose you could. But if you notice any bulging in those packets, I would check them once in a while. Because like I said,
Right,
they do evaporate a little.
right,
And you don't want to have an issue. I
right,
would say mostly keep them standing upward, put them in a Ziploc.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very good point, Texas Janet. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It wasn't a letter, Daisy May. It was my video that I did on Bosnia. Ow, damn it. Let me go get, I have to try and remember.
Lynn says she wasn't able to make a payment on PayPal. If it was my PayPal, they're not letting me do anything. They have blocked me completely. If it's Autumn's, it should work. So Lynn, send me an email and I'll get you another link for it. Okay? TASSOCIATES1020@yahoo.com.
Hang on, I'm gonna find the Bosnia video. Hang on.
Oh yeah. That was a good one.
Ay, Madonna me.
That
Huh?
was a good one.
Yeah. I have to remember. I have to remember which one it was. Because it's not like I said, hey, watch this, it's Bosnia. You know what I mean?
Raised bed, another good question. What happens after the Pope retires? Well, it may take a little bit, but it won't take too long. Y'all know what I mean by this, right? You can always email me, I'll tell you. But I had heard it was by December. It could be sooner. Is it coming? Yeah. Is this thing coming too? Yeah.
Ah,
I'm not saying it's going to be right away,
here it is.
but it's coming.
Okay. I am going to put the Bosnia video in the link. Okay? Not in the link. Like
Yeah, I
from
know what you
Madonna
mean.
me. Here.
It's
It's
no,
coming.
we do not have Venmo. That's just another version of PayPal. In fact, I think it's still owned by them. Yes, they blocked me on PayPal. Yeah, they love to block me. They love to try to mess with me. But we have Cash App as well. It works just as well. Some people don't like it, but it does work. Ashley, you found the email. Thank you. Finally.
Okay.
Good.
This right here is my mechanic. This is Dave. Say, hey, everybody, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, get to his shop, please. He owns Consumer Car Care in Hernando County. Use my code ABG and he will help you out. He is one of us. Remember that. He just left Walmart. He said everything is low in the grocery section. Wonderful.
I gotta love the name, Dirty White Boy.
Well, that's because he always has grease under his nails.
Gotta love the name.
He's a mechanic. Would you trust a mechanic that doesn't have grease on their hands?
No.
All right, then.
So funny. So yeah, so I'll be working for the next few days here over the holiday week, especially weekend, to get everybody's email put into the system to get the newsletter out to you guys. But give me a little bit of time because we have a lot of them to enter.
Yeah.
So that's good. We have quite a few people that are interested in doing it. And if you can, on this video and the ones coming up, keep hitting the like button because they love to take subscribers away from Autumn. I've noticed that. She gains 15, she loses 35. She gains 7, she loses 12.
Yeah.
So it's
Just
not
like
because people are unsubscribing, it's YouTube that is removing them from her. So even if they stay as subscribed on your end, she doesn't receive anything from YouTube from you guys.
All right. What
So-
was it? That one day I lost 47 at
Yeah.
one shot.
Yeah. You yelled at my people, and then all of a sudden you lost 47. I don't have 47 of my people on here, so
Yeah.
you know, you lost a couple of mine, but yeah, they're back, by the way.
They're back.
Yeah.
They're back.
Yeah.
What's that mean? I didn't know they went away.
Oh yeah, we 2 dropped, but they're back now.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they love me again.
Yeah. No. But they'll learn.
Well, how could you not?
They
No,
know you're
I'm
gonna
kidding.
yell at them. They know. I've already
I'm
said it.
Italian. I can't help when I get upset or
That's
when I
not an
get
excuse. You gotta
frustrated,
stop
I
that.
yell.
That's not an excuse.
I know, but I'm just like my grandmother. If you were to meet my Aunt Marie, she's me just 10 times louder. Hmm?
just have a piece of chocolate.
I've been eating chocolate all fucking night. Just like
Don't yell at them
cookies.
anymore.
I'm not yelling. I love them.
Yeah. No,
I love everybody. You know this. I tell everybody every single day, I love you. I don't say that just to say it, for crying out loud. Everybody knows that. I don't yell. I'm not yelling. I just talk loud. I'm Italian. Even my mother, she's sitting right here. She'll tell you. She's been putting up with my ass for 25 years. I'm not yelling. I
Do you
just
notice
talk
the
loud.
difference? Do you notice the
Huh?
difference between you and me right now?
I'm 100% Italian. I can't help it. This is how I grew up.
Yeah. I was raised there. Have a piece of chocolate.
I am having chocolate. I'm having Reese's.
You can do it. You can handle it.
Decaf. You just cursed at me saying I should have decaf.
I'm drinking water tonight.
Ugh.
I know. But at least I did drink some.
Rage Against the Machine, where you been at all night? I missed you.
All right, we are way over our 9 o'clock time frame. Way over.
I know. And Sean's going to be
over.
walking in the door in a minute.
Yeah, well, we're not staying here so you can eat chocolate, okay? So, yeah, Stephanie, you can email me on anything on the 195 we're doing by email. All right, so email me and I'll get you an update.
Karen, you got to get these. Chocolate coconut.
Yeah.
Sean's
right.
home.
Guys, have a good
Sean
night.
can't get. Sean's home. Mama, he can't get in the door for some reason. Oh, Madonna.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. I love you. Fearless. Yeah, he's home.